Welcome and happy holidays from 2K Sports. It's time for NBA action. With Greg Anthony and Stan Van Gundy, this is Kevin Harlan, and we're joined by our reporter David Aldridge on the sideline. And for the Detroit Pistons, they come into tonight's game after the loss to the Indiana Pacers. Franz Wagner, as we know, Stan, came into the league with a splash and hasn't really slowed up since.
Now, Kevin, I think he's surprised a lot of people. He has never played like a young guy. He's always played with the maturity of a veteran guy, and he just keeps getting more and more responsibility. He's handled it well, and then he could become a perennial all-star.
I like that assessment. And Stan, it seems like the key matchup tonight is down inside in the paint.
Oh, yeah, Kevin. Expect this one to be really physical. If either team backs down, they can just get run over tonight, but I don't expect that to happen. It's going to be a slugfest.
We love those kind of games. They're a lot of fun.
You aren't kidding.
Rose, no good. And about a minute gone here in the first quarter. Time now to turn to our sideline reporter, David Aldridge. David.
Well, I had a chance to talk with head coach J.B. Bickerstaff. We talked about the game plan for Joel Embiid. He told me Embiid might be the hardest matchup in the league. We just have to try to make things difficult on him and make him work for every point. Let's see if they're up to it, Kevin.
Thank you, David. Now here's Duncan, following the shot by Tracy McGrady. Down low, Embiid. It's good. Embiid got his second bucket of the night.
It's just so tough to knock Embiid off the block. That's his territory.
And the rejection by Embiid. And here's Wagner. Taking a look at his stats, he's averaging around 7.5 points a game. Back to Embiid. It's stolen by Cunningham. Here's McGrady. The kick out to Cunningham. Ball's knocked loose. Stolen by Duncan. No one near Maxey as he lets it fly. Good on the triple.
Well, a sharp start for them. 3 of 4 from the field.
And timeout called by J.B. Bickerstaff. He's going to have a discussion here on the sideline. For the Pistons, it's been a slow start here. They trail by 7. Stan, for 4 seasons, you were the head coach of the Detroit Pistons, and we were just talking the other day, what a great sports city Detroit is.
Oh, I absolutely loved my time in Detroit. I've still got 2 kids who live in the area, and great sports fans. Hardworking people that really value hardworking teams. And if you are one, they will be behind you all the way.
The 76ers leading by 7. Duren brings the double team. Here's Duncan. And Duncan throws it down.
Yeah, and at 7-1, Duncan is a problem in the paint. Outstanding with his extension there and just hammering it home.
Coach, it didn't take long for Cade Cunningham to establish himself as the leader of this team.
Well, Kevin, he's very mature for his age. He was put in a position with all young guys around him, so he had to step up. And I've never heard Cade Cunningham blame anyone else for the team's struggles. He's got everything you could want in a team leader.
Back to Embiid. 6 to shoot. Duncan outside. This one for 3. Duren pulls it in. Pistons trailed by 8. Here's Cunningham. And it's good, 2 points.
Well, with the size that Cunningham has, he is a real handful inside.
Maxey looking it over. From outside the arc. Rebound by the Pistons.
And even without that three-ball dropping for him, the defense should have done more on that last play.
Well, he certainly had trouble finding the mark this quarter.
Here's Duncan. The shot missing.
Oh, this is exactly the kind of opportunity you don't want to waste.
Rose. Misses in close.
He is really scuffling this quarter offensively. Perhaps a little frustration setting in.
And Duncan gets it to go in.
And this has been a great job of just getting into the middle of that defense and really scoring effectively from the paint.
And timeout called by J.B. Bickerstaff. He wants to check in with his team and regroup. Pistons trailed by 8. Right now, I'd send it over to the sidelines and get a report from David Aldridge.
Kevin, the Sixers have their superstar in Joel Embiid, but Coach Nick Nurse says they have to maximize him in different ways. Nurse said unpredictability is the key. You have to relieve some of the pressure. Guys are overplaying and sending multiple players at him. You have to find easy baskets out of it. Kevin?
Makes a lot of sense, David. Thank you. Here's Maxey. And that's out of bounds. Philadelphia will retain possession. Embiid wide open. That's good, and so Duncan with the assist. Embiid's got 7 points in the game.
Come on. Joel Embiid. I mean, 7-footers are not supposed to shoot like that.
Rose, no good.
And there hasn't been anything easy for him in this period.
Well, the offense has to look for ways to get him easier shots, better selections. You have to be set up for success.
And the foul on Derrick Rose. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Wow, that's a tough foul to take there. That gives him 2 early on, and the coach might have to cut his minutes a bit.
The 76ers leading by 8. Here's Bona. Pass to McCain. A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good. Here's Rose. That one falls.
And how about that exhale there? Finally gets one to fall through 6 attempts.
Mitchell with it. Here's McCain. Pass to Bitadze. Fades away. What a play. Simply drains it in at the buzzer.
One eye on the rim, one eye on the clock. Nice job.
The 76ers, 18.
And for those of you just tuning in, the second quarter of action is where we're at right now. And guys, what do you think about the offensive approach we've seen so far for the 76ers?
Well, I have to applaud their ball movement. They're moving the ball around, finding the best looks they can, and keeping everyone involved.
And something else that I liked is how they attack the paint, finding ways to get inside and capitalize time and time again.
Clock at 4. The Pistons need to get off a shot here. And that one's good. McGrady.
And how about getting a hand up on McGrady, especially when he's looking to shoot from the outside?
Pass to Bona. Back to Mitchell. It's Brown on the wing. Mitchell outside. Philadelphia needs to get a shot off. Bitadze can't hit. Pistons trail by 5. And Nick Nurse, Greg, the 26th head coach in 76ers franchise history.
And Kevin, known for his creativity and that outside-the-box thinking, I think it's a good fit with this forward-thinking front office.
A second chance effort. And Philadelphia grabs the miss. Their biggest lead of the game was 9. Their next game, playing at home, as the Nets come into town. Start a 3-game homestand with that game. And it's Brown missing. Here's McGrady. Here's Ivey. No good from outside. The 76ers leading by 5. Pass to McCain. Back to Brown. Here's McCain. He has yet to score. There's the 3. Gets it to go from beyond the arc. And the 76ers lead by 8.
Well, so many bigs excel from three-point range these days, and he's right up there with the best.
Doing it with style. McGrady punishing the D for giving him that kind of airspace.
Now Mitchell. Spins. Here's the 3. Johnson with some nice D. And here are the Pistons now. In the second quarter, they've given up just 3 points. So it's Philadelphia now. 6-point lead. Drives to the hoop. Pass to McCain. And they'll get another chance. Mitchell outside. Here's Bitadze. Over McGrady. Bitadze can't hit.
And the defense gave him no space. He had to fade back. That's not an easy look for most guys. Terrific ball movement leading to the basket. You love to see it.
Pass to McCain. And here is Brown. Here's Bona. The shot's good. Brown making the play. Bona's got his first 2 points. Hey, Stan, we've heard talk about players not heaving up a shot at the buzzer to protect their shooting percentage. Have you run into that at all?
Oh, Kevin, that definitely happens. Players are concerned about all of those numbers, shooting percentages being one of them, because they become a factor in contract negotiations. But they have to realize, number one, you've got to do what gives your team a chance to win. And number two, with all the analytics, teams separate out what they call heaves at the end of quarters.
Some nice ball movement here by the 76ers. Pass to McCain. From deep 3-point territory. The rebound by Richard.
He's a good shooter from outside, but not sure from that deep.
Yeah, it seems like everybody's jacking them up from way out there these days. You want guys to stay within themselves. Yeah, there's really no excuse for missing that one. That's just a blown opportunity.
Ivey on the wing. That's in. He's got 2 made now, and he's shooting 2 for 3.
And if Ivey can hit that shot with consistency, it really makes him a tough cover.
And here's Mitchell from the arc. Rebound, Detroit.
Finding space on the perimeter, but he couldn't capitalize.
Pass to Ivey. And there's the drive. No luck that time on the shot that would have put them on top. Here's Bitadze. There's 45 seconds left in the first half. Here's McCain. Ivey defending. Pass to Brown. And they'll turn it over. Could not get off the shot. 24-second violation.
Substitution on the floor.
The Pistons trailing. Rose in the post. Duncan with the block.
And setting the tone with that rejection, Duncan, the defensive anchor of this team.
24 seconds left to play in the first half. Cunningham outside. And that one's good. McGrady's got the lead up to 1 now for the Pistons.
The ball movement on this run has been fantastic and is a big part of why they've been able to get these good looks. Oh, and he went for the two-hander on the slam, using some muscle.
Some urgency from him there, sure.
Kevin, he is tough to stop when he gets to the rim.
And Greg, he can get up a few notches higher. And that'll do it for the first half. A competitive game so far. Pistons ahead as they end the second quarter with a massive 16-7 run. Live from Little Caesars Arena, you're watching 2K Sports. And after a fairly even first couple of quarters, the second half could turn out to be a great one as both teams try to gain an edge. And now the latest from our reporter, David Aldridge.
Thank you, Kevin. Joel Embiid talks about leading his team. He said, "I've been guarded so many different ways. I feel like I've seen everything, and I know how to attack everything. For me, it's all about how do I bring everyone along with me. You can't win alone. It's just about playing together and involving everybody." Kevin?
And you've got to involve everybody. All right, D.A., thanks. To the inside. Duran. And a lot of contact on that one, so he'll shoot 2 here. That one on Embiid.
Well, look, it seems like every time Jalen Duren is on the floor, he's looking to outdo himself, to raise his own standards as a player. I really like that about him.
And, Greg, for longtime Pistons fans, that Bad Boys era was so special.
I mean, Detroit's a tough, hard-working town, and those teams did have great talent led by Isaiah Thomas, but it was their physical, intimidating style of play that made them the Bad Boys.
Pistons leading by 5. McGrady with the ball. Defended now by Wagner. Cunningham gets the bucket. Cunningham's got 8 points.
They should continue to get the ball inside. The defense struggling to contain them.
Up top, Maxey. He's averaging just around 8.5 points a game. Off target with his 3.
Well, halftime is supposed to be for adjustments. I'm sure this isn't what they had in mind.
Wasted no time on that one. And now it's a 10-point Detroit lead.
Finding a little rhythm here that they have to like where they're at.
Yeah, you're seeing their offense in a flow. Now it's time for their defense to turn up the heat a little more. Well, 4 failed attempts to start this out. Not what they wanted out of the locker room.
Boy, you have to be impressed with the offensive production. They have got it firing on all cylinders.
Well, clearly the defense has had no answer for them. Might be time to try something different.
Wagner outside. Out to the right wing. Good ball movement here by the 76ers. Pass to Duncan. Shot clock at 5. Outside Gonzalez. The 76ers again can't hit it.
And they just can't find a way to end this thing. Nothing falling right now.
Well, this is a spot where you have to be able to go to your leaders. They need to step up and make a play to turn things around.
And they double up Embiid. Duncan outside. Pass to Embiid. Looking to end the run. Rebounded by Rose.
Just a solid performance on the interior. The rebounding has been off the charts.
And you know, guys, with Embiid on the floor, it's not just about his individual play. He changes everything for everyone on that team. That's how dominant he is. It's not just statistics. His presence alone propels them.
Kicks it out to Maxey. Pass to Wagner. Little under 2.5 minutes off the clock now here in the third. And here's Detroit. Right Detroit now on a 14-0 run. Here's Holland. That's in, coming off the assist from Cunningham. And the Pistons lead by 17. And it's Nick Nurse calling timeout here. He wants to regroup and go over the strategy. Here's Gonzalez. Still yet to score. Maxey in the corner. The three. The 76ers with another miss. Pistons leading by 17. Here's Cunningham. Over to the wing. Now here is McGrady. Nice defense from Wagner. Here's Gonzalez. Pass to Duncan. Beautiful dish, and the layup goes down. Duncan's got his third bucket of the night.
And boy, what a much-needed bucket there. Ends a 16-0 run by the Pistons.
Yeah, Cunningham can very effectively run an offense. He knows when and where to move the ball.
And it's easy to give up after a play like that, but this team needs to keep fighting.
Yeah, it's definitely a momentum shifter, but it's time to refocus, make smart decisions, and start fighting their way back.
Rose gets a wide open look. No good on the triple.
His shot's just, it's not there right now with his team leading. Perhaps, let's focus on some other areas of the game.
Into the lane. And down it goes, jamming that one home.
And giving up some inches inside, but makes up for it with an aggressive style.
Yeah, you got to love that kind of effort. Getting in there and fighting through the defense.
Sinks the triple.
Well, defensively, they just look lost in the second half. They need to turn up their intensity and get back to the way they were defending in the first half.
Pass to McCain. The three. Nailed from three-point land. McCain's got 5 now.
Both teams running perimeter-oriented plays that are working.
Well, it's become a three-point shooting league. Teams shooting a steady diet from outside.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Tracy McGrady. That is his first foul of the game.
Personal foul. First team foul.
Here's McCain. He has 5. Pass to Bitadze for 3. Rebound by the Pistons. They led by as many as 18 points. They'll host the Denver Nuggets after this one. And that game is the second of 2 straight at home. Ivy with the bucket.
Oh, interior defense doesn't hold back against Ivy, but he just explodes right by them and gets it to go.
Here's Bitadze. Here's McCain. And that shot was up in time, but doesn't go in. And so it's Detroit, feeling good about their 17-point lead heading into the break. They've been putting on a clinic in
32.
And 1 quarter to go in a game that to this point has not been an evenly fought contest. Here we are, Stan, seeing more and more great international players in the NBA. And you've had a chance to coach some of the good ones as well.
Well, yeah, look, Kevin, you're right about the league now. We see every year, it seems like, the MVP is an international player. I had Hedo Turkoglu, who was a big part of what we did in Orlando, was the most improved player in the league one year and a key part of our team that made it to the finals. 6'10", highly skilled, very versatile guy. There are great players coming from everywhere in the world.
And now David Aldridge has an update for us on Joel Embiid. What's the news, David?
Hey guys, the head athletic trainer of the 76ers updated me on the situation. He said it's definitely an ankle sprain and that he feels a throbbing pain. There's never a good time for injuries, but right in the thick of the season, this is a difficult one to navigate. Kevin?
David, thanks for checking in. On top of it as always.
It's interesting. Even with the advancements in strength and conditioning, injuries continue to impact the game.
Well, this is a high-impact sport, and the league continues to get bigger and faster.
Cuts off the pass. Here's Richards. And finishes it off with a one-handed jam.
Love it when Rose looks to share the ball, especially when his teammates are open like that.
Pass to McCain. Here's Bitadze. Just 4 to shoot. Holland with the rebound.
The edge on the glass is the difference. It's allowed them to build this lead.
Lets it go with the 3. Hands it from downtown.
Their ability, again, to stretch the floor, particularly in this second half.
Yeah, and where has the defense been? They've been content to let them fire away. They've got to close out to the arc.
Pistons passing it around. Nice pass, nice catch, and a resounding dunk.
Well, they've won the battle of transition buckets, and those easy points have helped them build this lead.
Yeah, they did a great job of controlling the pace throughout the game and keeping the defense on their heels.
Some changes for Philadelphia. Pass to Embiid. Just a little under 2.5 minutes have passed now here in the fourth. And that one, good.
And right there, Embiid showing he's just too big and too skilled to stop.
And landing zone fouls have been a part of the rule book for some time now, Coach. It's changed how shooters shoot.
No question, Kevin, and it's a good thing, I think. The NBA needs to protect the shooters. They're doing that. None of us wants injuries that could be prevented. We don't want to see the great shooters just come down and land on somebody's foot and miss 6 to 8 weeks.
And here's Wagner. Pass to Maxey. Now here's Duncan. Outside, Maxey. Back to Duncan. He trains it as the shot clock ticks down.
And Duncan just superb when he gets in close to the basket. Has a number of moves to choose from, and that soft, delicate touch near the rim.
Over 3.5 minutes through the final quarter now. Fires for 3. That one's rebounded by Embiid.
Well, the defense catches a break there. You expect him to make those.
On to Gonzalez. Pass to Duncan. Wagner outside.
2 minutes remaining.
Out left to the wing.
2 minutes.
Embiid the screen. Here's Gonzalez. Gets the three-pointer to fall.
Now that's a high percentage look when the D doesn't fight over the screen.
Yeah, it's certainly worth it to disrupt the offense. Coaches notice that extra effort.
There's 1:54 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Here's Rose. And he makes good on the layup.
They're in total command of this game with time starting to run out.
Yeah, and at this point, the focus is take care of the ball, no needless fouls, and no threes.
And with how explosive Maxey is, he's not your average guard in the paint.
Here's Cunningham. And the basket is good. Cunningham's got 10 points here in the second half.
And this is going to end in a lopsided victory. I love the tenacity and aggressiveness as well as the ability to close. You really got to give it up here for Detroit.
What do you think was the deciding factor in this one?
I think you have to look at their field goal percentage. They just shot the ball much better than the opponent, and they were getting great looks all game long.
And with this effort tonight, grabbing their 8th win of the year.
And they're able to even the score of this series at a game apiece. Still 2 more to go in the season series.
And you know, looking back at all the contributions tonight, it was a really phenomenal all-around game for Cade Cunningham.
Well, as a coach, it's so fun to watch a player dominate the game offensively like he did in this one.
Outside, Gonzalez. Off target from three-point range. Driving in. And that one's good. McGrady.
Taking no chances. They go on one last run to seal the deal.
Yeah, this run has poured a bucket of water on any ember of a potential comeback.
Diversified scoring in this one for him.
I love when everyone can get involved, a full team effort.
And he gets it to go.
Impressive job by the players, coaches, and don't discount the impact of these fans.
No, I'd be lying if I said the crowd doesn't have an impact. It's certainly felt from the head coach all the way down.
Here's Cunningham. The kick out to Rose. Fires from deep. The shot misses. And so Detroit takes this one by a big mark.